Good afternoon, everyone. How are you? This is Juanita McDonald with Rediscover Me. How are you doing this evening? I need to see your face. Let me adjust this while everybody is getting settled in. I hope everybody had a great weekend. I am on day two of my 30-day challenge, which was set up by Miss Tamika Sims. And I'm gonna tell you something, that is a job. Day two of the 30-day challenge is going to be, I'm still thinking about how many more days that I have, the remainder of the month of September that I have to go, and coming up with content, making everything entertaining and active. But you know what, I will take a challenge, I will go forward, and I hope that you enjoy this. Hey Shalana, how are you? I hadn't seen you in a while. I see my girl Liz is on here. How's everybody? I hope you're having a wonderful weekend. I hope you got an opportunity to get out today and to roam around. And I hope you also like my title. We're going to be delving into to one of my morning posts that I submitted. And so this here actually was submitted last night by one of the viewers, Miss Kwan Finch. And she said, you know what, why don't you talk about your morning inspirations, because they were really informative. So I took one tonight, and one of the things that I did is I pulled some additional research from that for tonight's viewing. Hi Susan Dorn, how are you? And so basically my title is Conviction and Comfort Cannot Live on the Same Street. Good, I'm glad to hear that, Liz. Conviction and comfort cannot live on the same street. Now, with that being said, before I dive into my title, I want to encourage someone to be a police challenge for me. And I'm going to tell you why. I listened to the video that I did last night, and I had so many ahs, you knows, and I'm a fellow Toastmaster. And the one thing that I cannot do, or I should not be doing, is going and sucking my lips, all of those things. So not trying to be a perfectionist, but I'm trying to be better at engaging. So if you don't mind, as you are listening to this, take a tally of how many times I do those things. Use the word use the and over and over, use the I. This is what I would do if I was being drilled inside of my Toastmasters class. So evaluation and self, there's another so that's one. So constantly reevaluate yourself and look at personal growth and development and how you're trying to how you are trying to move forward. But with that being said, let's dive into our topic. Conviction and comfort don't live on the same street. Conviction and comfort don't live on the same street. Hi, Jim. Now you may be like, okay, what does that really mean? Let's think about it. When you are, hi, Javelle. Thanks for watching. When you are trying to grow, let's put it like this. When you're trying to grow, you're trying to change, you're trying to do something that is totally outside of your comfort zone, you become very comfortable with the old you. And so, as I stated last time, hi Mary, how are you? When you start trying to make a change, before it actually become a habit, you keep reverting back. So that's comfort. So when we look at this, I actually heard this title. Let me back up. And I heard this title, an old lady was giving me some advice, and she said, you know, you can't move forward if you're still looking backwards. And so her mother told her, conviction and comfort does not live on the same street. And so it got me to thinking about that, and it's like, how many times do we resort back because we convict ourselves and worry about what other people say or what other people are thinking, and basically we go from there. So with that being said, I also will be quoting several different things from Lamisha Surf Wales, who actually did a blog on personal development, and her title was 6 Reasons You're Settling for a Lackluster Life. So once as I delve a little bit more into that, I want to go back to what we were just saying. And now if you notice, I'm messing up a lot because I just challenged myself to not use the word and ah. So like I said, I hope you're tallying these. So I want to try to make it fun and interesting too as well. So I'm challenging myself to be a little bit more better than I was last night. So okay, I'm back to work. Let's start with the word conviction and what the definition of conviction is, and the word that I'm using, because there's two. Conviction, I'm not talking about the criminal state of mind where you are convicted of a crime. I'm referring to a firmly held belief or opinion. A firmly held belief or opinion, which is conviction. Comfort is a state of mind of physical ease and freedom from pain and constraint. Now, when you think about that, let's say, for instance, if you were in a relationship, a marriage, or a job, and you are, those things don't connect. You have a mindset to where you want to be at a particular place, a particular level. Just say, for instance, let's use the relationship as an example. If you meet someone and you connect with them through physical attributes, and you allow those physical attributes to form that relationship, but that person really doesn't connect with you, just say, go based off of your goals, based off of your drive, based off of your spiritual beliefs. And so you keep trying to find a way to move forward in that relationship, or you still stay attached to that relationship, and you settle. And one day you decide that this really was not for me. I made a mistake. I need to do something totally different, or I want to change. I don't want to have the same relationship with this particular individual. Now, you may not move away from that relationship because, just say, for instance, that relationship brought you something. It might have provided a source, a financial source, or it may provide a comfort of material things, or it might have created a source of leverage, as in status. Just say, for instance, if you have someone that is on a political level and you want those type of sources. So basically, whatever that relationship brought to you, then as you are thinking about what you want to change in that relationship, your mind automatically goes to comfort. It goes to what brings you comfort. It clouds it all the way from what really is the sole source of the problem. And so that's part of it. So in your comfort, you are looking at where you're at. But in your convictions, you're constantly saying, I need to make a change. I need to make a move. I need to revert from where I'm at, because this does not do me any good. And so that's what that meaning is. That meaning is that that's why comfort and conviction cannot live on the same street. You have to make a decision on, okay, what do I do? How do I do it? And what steps am I going to take to get there? And that's easier said than done. So even though I'm saying it is easier said than done, because there are so many things that you have to deal with when making a choice to change from where you are to where you're going. Now, the things that I want to point out or I want to have a discussion on are, what are our comforts? What are some of your comfort states? What are some of mine? And don't don't be afraid to shout out where you're at in it. For me, and I hear all of those odds that I'm doing that I should not be doing, but where are you in your comfort state? And for me, I know one of my comfort states is that I can procrastinate, and I will get caught up into something, or I'll get caught up into somebody else's conversation. And I told someone today that, which is so funny, that it's easy for me to engage in somebody else's conversation. They could be talking to somebody else and my ears will automatically tune into them, and I'm like, okay. And then all of a sudden, before I know it, I have joined in, and that's that gift of gab that I have. And so I don't know if that's you, but what is one of your comfort states, and what keeps you from staying focused? But now, another form of comforts that we all fall into is our standard of living, which I kind of touch bases on that. In our standard of living, we believe that we have to settle. We believe that we have to accept whatever is, instead of seeing again where we're at and what we can change. So you have an option. And also another third one. Hi, Miss Levon, how are you? Another one is our state of mind. We get to that comfort state of settling in our mind, believing that because of whatever age you are at this particular moment, that you have to stay there, that you can't change. And that's one of the biggest things that I get from so many people when I talk with them, especially when they discover, or they hear me say, I graduated from college and I just went back at the age of 48. They're amazed, and they're like, oh, I can't do that. I don't understand how you did that. Or if I tell them, they look at the outer shell and they're like, wow, you have 5 children and you don't look to be a certain age. And the first thing come out of my mouth is, I love living. I love life. And I love my family as well. But I have always been a very outgoing person, and I have always been the type of person that I'm not going to stay, even though I stumble, I'm not going to stay in a particular state. Even though I stumble, I'm not going to stay in a particular state. And I hope that's you with that same attitude, because I can't control the way God made me as to how the outer shell look. But what I do know is that it is my responsibility to keep it up. It is my responsibility to eat healthy, which I didn't today though. But it is my responsibility to exercise and to take care of whatever is not right. And so you have to realize where you're at, what your state of mind is, and how you have to change it. And so, with that being said, hi, Miss Gordon, how are you? With that being said, we also, again, going back to the same question, what are some of your comfort states, and what have you done to try to get over those comfort states? Because, again, conviction and comfort cannot live on the same street. We have a tendency of parking that car, driving to the end of that street, parking it, and it stays there, and we never move any further. And so each and every day, I believe that we should do something that challenge us. And I'm not talking about once a year, once a month. Even with this 30-day challenge, we should always be trying to reinvent ourselves. Thank you, Miss Copeland. Miss Copeland states that's good. Although you stumble, we don't have to stay stuck there. That's right. We do not have to stay stuck there because it's life. And if we take those words of stumbling and look at it from a more positive perspective, it doesn't sound as bad. I have one of my instructors once stated that, or she stated to our class once that instead of using the word that you're using a negative word such as I messed up, or what is it, I'm not good at this, she used the word underdeveloped. I haven't developed in that particular area. And when you think about it, a form of failure is an undeveloped state. It's an undeveloped state of growth, mental growth. It's an undeveloped state of personal development, as in building yourself up, looking at how your life can be better. Hi, Tamara. Still waiting on that phone call. But underdevelopment is a much more positive word to use, because what it does is it does not cause you to beat yourself up because you didn't accomplish your goal. You don't beat yourself up every time something goes wrong, and using that more positive word will cause you not to think about things from the perspective of, I'm less of a person, I'm not good at this, I have to, I'll never be. And for some reason today I've talked to several family members, and they've used some negative words, and I was like, that might be the case, but we're not going to use that. Hi, Miss Finley. But we're not going to use that word. Let's look at it from this perspective. And one individual stated to me that you should not be using it from a negative perspective. You're talking to me as if you're a psychologist, and I'm like, well, I'm not trying to be a psychologist. I'm just trying to encourage you to look at your situation from a different perspective. And that's what we need to do. And so many times it's easier to wallow in self-pity. It's easier, and please forgive me, we're in the midst of Alabama football. So we got some rivalries running around here, and I forgot to mention that. But in talking to those individuals, the biggest thing that they said that really stuck at me after making the statement of what I was trying to be was, you have to, speaking positive and speaking life is not, Miss Finley said, go Gamecocks. We have one of those in the house too. But even though you are in you want to be in that self-pity mode, you don't have to stay there, and you do not have to allow the mind, mental allegory, to keep you in a downslope of settling or speaking negative to yourself, or feeling like nothing positive is ever going to happen to you, because you are the control of your destiny, and it takes you to make the choice of where you want to be and how you're going to get there, because at the end of the day, nobody else is going to do it unless you do it for yourself. Now, the other thing that I wanted to point out to you is that anytime that you decide to move that car off that street and go somewhere positive, is that you have to create a plan. And last night, remember, I said several different things on how to set that plan up. Tonight, in dealing with conviction and comfort, again, I want to challenge you to come out of your comfort zone. I want to challenge you to think about what is best for your life and where you want to be at in it. And so, and I'm not talking to you as if I know where you're at. I'm talking to you as in, if you are at a state, or if there's something inside of your life that is settled, just say for instance, let me back up. If you are settled, how did you get to a settled space? And do you realize that you are settling? And because you may not believe that you're settling. And the example that I want to give is, what is your daily routine? If you go to work, you get up in the morning, you go to work, hey uncle, and then after you get off from work, you come home. If your routine is the same each and every day, my friend Liz said that's speaking life into your situation versus saying it in a seemingly negative way. We have to be aware and careful what we speak into existence in our life. True, we do. We have to be very, very careful. And if you don't, automatically your life will begin to reflect what you keep saying over and over. And so getting back to how to know whether or not your life is in a routine or in a comfort state, when you look at your daily patterns, when you look at how you go about structuring each and every day, if you do the same thing every day to the point that any criminal can follow you one day and know what you're doing from now on, that's comfort. If your pattern, again, is to get up, go to work, come home, get up, go to work, come home, you may stop at the store every now and then, or you may do something else. If that pattern is driving down that same street, making the same turns, you're comfortable. You should automatically, if you go one way this day, go an opposite way if it's possible. And if that's not the case, do something totally different. Change up, shake it up. As you know, we as women, we love to change the hair, change the makeup, change the outfit. I have a tendency of walking into my Saturday morning Toastmasters club and my hair will be changed. And there's this elderly gentleman and he's like, he has to ask people, okay, is that Juanita? Because he's like, I don't even know. I can't keep up with you in the way you're changing. That's good. Because nobody should ever anticipate you as being that same person. Because if you think of, when you look at your life, I always tell a person, each year you should look back and see something going on. You accomplished something. You did something unusual. You traveled. You experienced something that you had never done in previous years. Now, if those years, thanks Liz, but if those years, if you look back in the life and you still hadn't done anything, never took a vacation, still hanging around with the same friends, never expanding, you're settling. You're settling. But now, all in the back of the mind, I can promise you, the one thing that is constantly going is, I want. When I get, I'm going to. What if your when can be today? What if your when can be today? And guess what? It can. It all depends on what you want to do and how you want to go about doing it. Sometimes it requires letting people know that this is what I'm going to do. I hope that you're on board with what I want to do, because I would love to enjoy it with you. But if you are not there, and it's okay, but this is what I'm going to do. And you have to be firm with it. It's not that you are neglecting. Miss Gwyneth Garrett said, what if your when can be today? That's right. It can be today. And when you look at the person that is connected to you, if they're not in the same space and time that you are in, it's okay. It is okay, because those that want change, they're going to change. And it may take them a little while to catch up with you, but you can bank they will catch up with you and they will be the better for it. But now if they don't, then that's a decision that you'll have to make, as to, do you continue or do you revert back? But again, this is such a big world and there's so many great things that you have to contribute to it. So I encourage you to come out that comfort zone. And when you come out that comfort zone, don't be convicted by it. Don't be convicted by it. It goes back to what I said last night with the transferable energy, the transferable anger, or the transferable issues, whatever is being transferred at that particular time, transferable baggage, whatever is being transferred. When you make a choice to make a change, you cannot be convicted by resorting back. You have to be very firm in what you're deciding to do, because of the fact that it only takes 12 to 21 days to make to change a habit. And so if you have taken that time, you've invested into changing, and your mind wants to go back to where you were at, then what have you really accomplished? And the only person that's going to be miserable is going to be you. So consider where you're at, consider what you want to do, and then consider how you're going to go about doing that. Now, just to give you a little suggestions. One of the things that Lamisha says is to dream again. And you've heard me say this all the time. What did you want to be when you were, before you became the adult, before you became the responsible party? What did you want to be? Who did you want to be? What type of life did you want to live? Have you forgotten how to dream? Have you forgotten how to dream? And if you have, recreate some new ones. What is it that is going on in this world, in Colombia, that you have never experienced? And even though we've probably been to every corner of Colombia, there are some new things that are happening. If you've been in your same social circle in Colombia, go visit another one. Hang out with some other people that you never would. I love my friends. I have two totally opposite friends, and they challenge me. One of them is Indian, and the other one is she's from Venezuela, Hispanic. She's Hispanic. And they challenge me, but I see the growth that I have from them. I have my African American friends and my cool sisters, and they challenge me, but I see the growth in me from being around these ladies. And when you surround yourself with people that are constantly challenging you and forcing you to grow, you see the world from totally different lenses, and there's no way you can't do anything when you have positive people around you who are doing phenomenal things. So remember to dream again. The next one, expand your network. And that's what I was just talking about, expanding your network. Well, one of the challenges that we were given last night was to, when we were networking through business, was to connect with someone we did not know, and everyone had to exchange 5 business cards. And after you exchanged the 5 business cards, you either had to connect with someone to mentor. You connected with someone to mentor, as well as connected with someone to become a mentee. So it was a lot of that was challenging, but it was rewarding. It was challenging and rewarding at the same time. And so that would be something that I would recommend for you, to connect with someone outside of your comfort zone, outside of who looks like you. And if you're saying, well, I do that in business, or I do that on my job, or I do, no. No, I don't. I'm not talking about it from a business perspective or a social perspective that's going to gain gain money or something such as that. I'm talking about mine. I'm talking about connecting with someone that will cause you to have to question them, their beliefs, their culture, their way, what makes them think the way that they do, and how they function on a daily life, their family values. Connect with them there, and you will be able to see. And what it's going to do is it's going to force change on you. And they may not believe or do things in the same manner as you. That's okay. That is okay. It's just something that's going to force you or test you and your own personal beliefs. So that goes back to your comfort, getting outside of that comfort and not staying in that same place. Now the last one that I want to give you is give yourself permission to do what you love. And that I said that earlier. What is it that you want it to be? What is it you want it to be? What is it that makes you happy, the happiest? That will also bring you money. I promise you that. I said that last night. That was a challenge. I believe that when you tap into who you are, the real you, the real thing that brings you total and complete happiness, the thing that just light up and that comes so naturally that you don't even pay it any attention. It will also generate financial income if you implement it. So what is it that you love? What is it that makes you happy? What is it that you want to be? So it all falls back into the same thing of who am I? And each and every day I hope you're questioning, who am I? Who do I want to be, and what do I want to leave, or what type of impact do I want to leave on this world? So I guess Alabama doing something over there. So I hope this is my topic for tonight. I hope you ladies have enjoyed yourself. I'm really thankful for you engaging with me this time of night. It's better for me to be here at this time of night. It gives me an opportunity to step back. Hopefully I'm not as tired as I was last night. And this little topic gave you something to think about. And just remember that conviction and comfort don't live on the same street. So even tomorrow or tonight, when you're dealing with your personal life and the things that you're trying to accomplish, or the goal that you have set, or the structure that needs to be in place. Oh, thank you, Miss Finley. I do thank you for that. I enjoyed your porch this afternoon. It made me want to. Hey, Danny. Thanks for joining us. But as I was saying, I hope that you you know what? I lost my train of thought. My cousin came on and I got excited and I lost my train of thought. So that's not cool. But again, I hope that you are looking at the fact that yeah, laugh with me. Again, my friend, what are you doing? Is so. Thank you, Liz. You know what? I said it yesterday. Hey, thank you, cuz both of you. I have to say it to both of you, Danny, Liz. Gosh, you two are like my biggest supporters outside of my daughters, my son. Y'all are always there for me, and you're always pushing me, and even giving me words of comfort, and I am so thankful for that. And even when I'm messing up, you know, and my favorite word is, I don't see that mess up. I need to see it as a mess up. I see it as an undeveloped trait that I'm working on to better. And so, as my grandchildren would say, when I grow up, I am going to be phenomenal. So keep pushing me, keep challenging me, and I will always be in your corner as well. So I hope you guys have a great night. Thank you so much for tuning in of my day 2 30-day challenge of live feed. And then, you know what? Let me throw this here. I challenge you guys to do the remainder of the month live feed and just talk to me, talk to your community, talk to people, and give us some of your little nuggets of wisdom that you carry around and you share, because things like this here helps each of us to grow and help each of us to be better, to do better, as well as help others just from our life experiences. And so, Like I said, with that being said, I'm going to tune out. I'm going to go try to get some more work done and prepare for next week and all the things that we have to accomplish, as well as, I have a workshop that's scheduled for October 28th in Alabama. And so we're working on that. Mika is pushing me for a new special exercise, and it's going to be based off of the Rubik's Cube. So if you played that game, then you know how it is. That little game, you had to line all the colors up on one side. I could never get that. So we have that coming up, and so we're still working out all the kinks. It's going to be great. It's also Miss Finley's still shouting, "Go Gamecocks" over here. Now what is Alabama doing over there? 10-7. They playing Florida State 10-7. So, but yeah, we're gonna be the Rubik's Cube exercise is we think it's going to be great. It's going to be challenging, but it focuses on self-esteem. And we have this 30-day challenge that we're doing now, and so that's really on me to stretch me, to force me to come outside of my comfort zone, to interact with more people, and to, I guess you can just say, push myself more. So that's why we're here for the 30-day challenge. And the other thing, what am I missing, Mika? The other thing that I'm doing now, we have coming up is, I'm missing something. I don't know what it is. I don't have my calendar in front of me, but we have a lot. Look for some things to be happening with Rediscover Me. We're also putting together another workshop, and as I stated to people before, I don't want to do another workshop here and it be the same exercise. So we have to change it up, because I want you to be excited, and I want it to be very beneficial. And if it's not right, I won't do it. But with that being said, I want you to have a wonderful, wonderful night and Saturday and Sunday. Enjoy the remainder of your weekend. Be positive, encourage someone, be respectful, and remember that God loves you, and so do I. Good night.